Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
From what day I may find out, certain people not like me. Everyone got us bag a thing now. Next through me I do it like Nike. But me not fear no guy now. No matter how hard them a spite me, me just a go and do me thing now. Me just a do it like Nike. 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 Them want poison me, show me thing up. Plus me and them girlfriend a link up.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, the Cleveland Clinic, ESC Distributors Limited, Fine Threads, First Caribbean Bank, Fun Foods Wholesale, the IAAF World Relays Bahamas, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's and Games, and Tropical Gyros.
Cuban linked up. How much ice just a and me rings up. From what day I may find out, certain people don't like me. Everyone cock us bag a thing now. Next through me I do it like Nike. But me not fear no guy now. No matter how hard them a spite me, me just a go and do me thing now. Me just a do it like Nike. 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 Me just a do it like Nike.
To tell you the truth, if I were you, then me probably woulda like me neither. Fresh to the top born again, them said the flow ungodly, my mind need Jesus. Girls go cookies when my mind need breakfast.
And good afternoon, good day. It is Talking Heads Thursdays. This is Pearly in the house, Guardian Radio 96.9. It's so good to be with y'all today. You know, see the weather warming up a little bit. Ooh, so time to put on them bathing suits and do some swimming. I'm still working on a beach body though, still working hard on that. But I hope everybody is good. Today is going to be an interesting show. We can take a little different move. We can stay away from that row in politics today, and we can talk a little bit about what's happening in society. I have a very special guest who I'll introduce to you in a few minutes. So let's take a quick look at the front page of The Guardian. Improper handling of Carifta funds. Games had $829,821 deficit. We can talk Carifta in the sports section. Okay, so don't worry. We can talk about Carifta in the sports section. Harsh penalties necessary for gangs. Pindad voices concern over harboring provisions of anti-gang bill. Crisis Center process for action on marital rape bill. MPs passed the anti-gang bill. In business section, Bahama issues cost of living pay increase for eligible staff. I know a couple of you work that I need lunch this week. That big little, I know you're getting some back pay there. 3% increase thanks to the resort improving financial positioning, record occupancies. Tourism is growing, thank God. Insurance rates hit 30% last year. New regenerative therapy bill will boost medical tourism, says Health Minister Stem Cell. Alaska Airlines grounding will not affect Bahamas flight, says Roma. And BTC unions exploring all options amid industrial agreement negotiations. Gas look like it ain't getting nowhere. $5.96 at Rubis. $5.92 at Esso, and $5.85 at Shell. So, people, on the Talking Heads Thursday, Pearly in the house, I have a special guest. This is a lady I've watched from afar, and I've always admired her. Watching her, what she's done as she's a senator, and some things she did earlier last year, and I'm happy to have her here. We ain't gonna talk that part of her life. We're gonna talk the good part of it. I wouldn't say the good part, but we're gonna talk about what she's involved in, and And there's this very special group of women that is sponsored by the United Nations. And we want to talk a little bit about that, considering taking a look at what the commissioner said earlier in the week in reference to rapes and gender violence and all that. Robin Lyons, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I think this is the first time.
This is the first time we've met.
On a show with you.
Yes.
So I'm excited.
I'm a rookie. I'm a rookie. I've only been at this a little over a year. I used to do Sundays with Naughty at another place when we talk sports.
Yes.
And then he got this offer here, and him and I continue to talk sports from 5 to 6 every day. And then he said, man, I got some things to do. Would you like to do a Thursday on yourself? I say, by my lonesome, me one? And he said, yeah.
But I'm listening though, you're doing great.
Thank you so much.
You sound like a rookie, you don't act like a rookie. That's good.
I went to SAC. I got to drop that in there. We're here to talk about Seawill. And I'll be honest with you, a friend of mine's introduced me to it a couple of days ago. I'm like, what is that? And she said, you need to have Robin on so you could talk a little bit about it. I said, you know what, let's make this happen Thursday. Absolutely. Tell us what Seawill is all about and what do you do?
Okay, well, CWIL is an acronym. It stands for Caribbean Women in Leadership. So it's an acronym. It stands for Caribbean Women in Leadership, and it was initiated as a type of association all the way back in the 90s from some really strong, powerful female leaders in the Caribbean. And so at present now, CWIL has a presence in 9 Caribbean countries.
Wonderful.
The Bahamas being one of them. So our local chapter, I just was recently elected to be chairwoman of that chapter.
Congratulations.
And so thank you so much. And so we have a really dynamic team of women, and we're just continuing the work. We started the chapter in the Bahamas in November of 2019.
Okay.
And of course, COVID hit in March of 2020.
So that stinks.
And kind of threw us off, but the amount of work that CWIL has been able to do present in local spaces and nationally is just absolutely incredible. And I hope we get a chance to talk a little bit more about that. But CWIL is a bipartisan group of women leaders, and the role and objective of CWIL is to promote women's leadership.
Okay.
To promote the advancement, the empowerment of women across sectors.
Okay.
Whether that is business, whether that is in civil society, whether that is in politics. It's just women leading in spaces because we understand the magnitude of the contribution women have to make. But CWIL is focused on training. CWIL is focused on development. CWIL is focused on spotlighting women and giving them opportunities, creating platforms really for them to shine in areas where they would not ordinarily have those opportunities.
There's one area that bothers me heavily about the way women are treated. It is in that pay gap.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I think women make maybe 25 to 30% less than their peers in particular jobs that they have.
Yes, but what we have to, and I think sometimes people hear that and they say absolutely not, because you go in a lot of spaces and you see more women there than men, unless it's a field primarily dominated by men. You see more women there than men. But I keep telling people these are entry-level positions.
Yes.
Where the disparity takes place is as you move up the ladder.
Into the senior management areas.
The senior management areas, CEO, CFO, COO.
It's still a man's world.
Executive directors, etc. Yes. You know, on a global scale, women make up less than 6% of leadership in Fortune 500 companies, etc.
I heard something like that before.
So you see the disparity. So it's okay for us to dominate at certain levels or to be visible and have parity with men on certain levels. But when it comes to where the money really counts, we're still kind of disenfranchised.
And as that carries, I mean, a lot of the instances are based on Fortune 500 companies out in North America and Europe. Is that, are we seeing that in the Caribbean as well, in the Bahamas, in Jamaica, Trinidad? Are we seeing women not getting the kind of salaries they should be getting?
Yes, we see women not getting the kind of opportunities too,
as well.
because oftentimes when people look at who they feel are suitable to lead in these spaces, the image of a woman is not what they see. And so we're still fighting a kind of a patriarchal mindset that even when there was this survey that talked about men in leadership and men in senior management, etc., and what the inclusion of a woman at that level did for them. And for a lot of them, they felt as though it diminished their leadership in some way, shape, or form. Don't ask me why. I don't think they could have answered why.
Okay.
But it goes back to how women are seen, how women are perceived.
Should be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant?
Well, I mean, I think we're moving away from that just a little, but I think by and large, people still see us as secondary.
Yeah, I would say yes. Looking at maybe the generation before us,
Yes.
my generation. But are we seeing that now with the millennials or Generation Z? is that changing within them, or they still have that? Are these young people still have that same kind of mindset that the men should rule and the women should?
I think
not?
I think it's shifting. It's a matter of education. Sometimes it's a matter of socialization and what you've been taught and what you've seen and what your experiences have been. I think what we have to do is just not just say it, but just move to a place where individuals, people, human beings are categorized and placed and given opportunities just based on merit, not sex at all. This is not about creating spaces for women because we are women. It's not creating spaces for men because they are men, but letting leaders lead, right? Letting leaders occupy leadership positions because they know what to do when they get there, and removing the barriers and the prejudices and the preconceived ideas that because you are a she, you cannot. And unless we come to that understanding and teach our children that understanding, to teach our little girls and our little boys that you lead, you have the capacity to reach your full potential, hard work, put God first, stay focused, all of these different things. Say that to them in an equality, right? And create opportunities for them in an equality. This is not about reducing men so that women could be advanced. This is not about advancing women to the detriment of men. We have to get out of that idea. This is just about trying to advance ourselves as human beings, as a species. And how do we do that? By putting the best and brightest ahead and saying, lead us.
And a lot of times we say, oh, these women trying to take over, but something I saw back when I was in and I don't want to age myself too much, but in the 70s, there were comments we made that you saw a lot of women going to night classes and their boyfriends or husbands were dropping them off in their cars and going. And now we're paying the price. And I don't know if the right saying to say we're paying the price. But a lot more women are advancing, in my eyes, today than men are advancing. And then men are getting the attitude that all these women trying to take over, they're trying to do this, they're trying to do that. But I can't blame the women for advancing themselves. You can't blame a woman if she wants to go to school, get an education there, get a degree. And if the guy doesn't want to sit down on the blocks and not do what he has to do to advance.
Absolutely. I mean, and a lot of times women are not doing necessarily what they want to do. A lot of those women who are in night school, a lot of those women who are trying to further their education while they raise their children would love to be home in the evenings with their children, but they don't have the help. They don't have the support. Men are out of place. And so now women have to be everywhere doing everything. And I think that we have had to morph, right, into problem solving, because that's what women are by nature. We're problem solvers. And if there is a deficiency, we're not just going to stand around complaining about it. We are going to fill those gaps. And women have been filling those gaps. And so I think that the idea is not for us to be jealous or competitive when we see women advancing themselves. It's for men and women to recognize that we don't take up the same space. We are not the same. We don't think the same. We don't articulate the same. Our perceptions, ideas, everything about us is kind of specific to who we are in our varying genders, right? So as a woman, I can't take a man's place. As a man, he can't take my place. He has his place. I have my place. And when we understand that, and we're now pursuing individual advancement and collective advancement, I think we're going to be better as a society. We just have to get out of these petty, little small-minded ideas, man, because they are debilitating. If I could say that, they do not help us as a country. They do not advance us any one bit. And I think we're at a place now where we can see that the level of problems that we have in this small nation, it requires us to come together as one people and start to think ourselves out of where we are.
Tell me I brought up the pay difference, but there are a lot more initiatives that you deal with. Tell me a little bit about some of the initiatives. I know you're into dealing with gender bias, different things like that. Tell us a little more of some of the initiatives that CBIL does.
Well, one of the things that we have had to lend our attention to is the conversation on gender-based violence. And when we say gender-based violence, we're talking about violence against predominantly women and girls, because when it comes to domestic violence, when it comes to certain sexual offenses, et cetera, women and girls face those issues at a disproportionately higher level than men and boys.
Yes.
Not to say that they're excluded, but just to say that they are the minority.
There's far more women being
in
abused.
terms of
Yeah.
right, in terms of survivors. So CWIL has been really active in talking about this and joining collaboratively with organizations like Zonta, international organizations like the Pan American Development Fund. We actually had an initiative in Abaco after Hurricane Dorian. We recognized through our collaboration with PADF that there were these displaced women, right, that were subjected to even greater levels of abuse because now they had nowhere to go, no money, no income, no options as far as they were concerned. And so it just shined a light on how much these women were dealing with. And so from that initiative where we were providing care packages and information on resources, we went down there, spent some time in Abaco. We had a training and an empowerment session with some of these women in these communities. So from that, we're actually now spearheading the creation of a safe house where women who are survivors of domestic violence will actually have some place to go, to come out of where they live and to be housed in some place that is safe and somewhere that they can get the assistance that they need. So there's been so many things. We've sat on the GBV committee.
Okay.
We've had conversations with the director of public prosecutions, both past and present, talking about plea deals, talking about sentencing, talking about just the prosecution of persons who are charged with matters like incest, like sexual offenses against a minor, gender-based violence, all of these different things. So we have been joined in conversations and initiatives and programs all throughout the country, really working hard to get gender-based violence as a main topic of conversation, but also looking at ways that we could combat it in ways that are sustainable.
I know you're working with different organizations, and
Yeah.
when I look at what Sandra Dean Patterson had today with the Crisis Center and marital rape,
Yeah.
is that something that your organization would send a statement out in support of or not support or whatever? Do we have views, not just on that, but other things that you would you not just talking to organizations and working with them and putting programs together, would you make public statements? saying-
Absolutely.
Okay, and
Absolutely, we have. Now, on marital rape, I think that when you're going to speak for an organization, the body of that organization, the membership of that organization really needs to be consulted. So I'm not at liberty at this particular point to make a
I understand
statement
that, yeah.
on behalf of CWIL, because I think that our membership needs to be consulted on that position.
Yeah.
But as individuals, the leading women that comprise our membership, each of them have their own opinion on
Yes,
this,
yes.
and I'll state for the record mine.
okay,
And
this is
come under
Robin
some fire.
Lyons'
This is just
opinion. This is
Robin
not
Lyons,
CWIL's.
right?
This is Robin Lyons.
And I've come under some fire. I've gotten some criticism for this because I keep telling them I'm not interested in a focus on a word, rape. I'm more interested in the systemic challenges that women and people face when they are sexually violated.
Yes.
Because the level of prosecutions, the level of complaints for people who are raped, for people who are sexually violated, the fact that those are the least reported crimes is telling. It is telling us something that survivors of these heinous acts don't feel safe enough to come into a system and make their complaint. And if they make their complaint, they don't feel safe enough to carry this all the way through the prosecution. So call it what you want to call it,
Okay.
right? If you want to call it sexual abuse of a spouse, if you want to call it aggravated sexual abuse of a spouse, whatever terminology you want to use, and the penalties that have to follow those definitions, I'm fine with. If you don't want to call it rape, call it something else.
Fair enough.
But then let's look at the system. Let's look at sensitization training at the first instance when a woman or a person who has been raped or violated comes to the police station? Are there people who are specifically trained to deal with that kind of to deal with that kind of issue? Because it's not for everybody.
It's not.
Right? When you go to the hospital, the nurses, the doctors who have to examine, who have to prepare and take evidence off of that person's body to complete the rape kit, etc.
Yep.
Have they been trained? Do they understand the nuances and the sensitivity of what is happening? All of these different things. We have something that the police have been doing called the confrontation, where they actually sit a person who has accused someone else of raping them in a room with their perpetrator across the table and asking questions, not really understanding the psychology of what it is that you're doing.
That's crazy.
That is insane. So all I'm saying is we have so much systemic challenges that I think that the emphasis and focus for us needs to be on what happens if someone is raped. Have we as a society done enough, right? With the justice system, with our response mechanisms, with the machinations that kick into place when this complaint is made to ensure that we can bring perpetrators of these heinous acts to justice? Because we talk about complaints, we talk about charges, let's talk about prosecutions, let's talk about convictions, let's talk about the length of time that it takes between the complaint and the
having
conviction.
to live with that
and relive that.
And
right?
relive that. And then the young lady would walk in and say, I've been raped, and people look at it, oh, is she dressed like this? I don't care how you dress. No, it's no.
I'm telling you, victim shaming, it's true.
Yeah, and it's not, I one time served as a jury on it, and I felt for the young lady having to explain what she went through and how I think the defense lawyer was trying to bring her down. And I got not physically emotional, but inside I was so angry that I firmly believe that I don't care what you dress, how you look, whether that, if you say no, you say no. If you say yes, you say yes, but it's not right. Let's take our first caller. Caller, you on the air. How you doing?
Yes, hello, good day. I'm doing a very good, thank you.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm great. Interesting conversation going on.
Thank you.
So I'm interested to find out from your guest whether or not the advocacy extends to helping women outside of the Caribbean. I heard her mentioning that they have extended their influence to 9 countries in the Caribbean. Do you champion the causes for women who are dealing with issues outside of the Caribbean? For example, in the United States, women who are fighting to get their children back home, but because of jurisdiction issues, they are unable to get the help that they need, despite the fact that they have tried the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they've tried so many entities, Interpol, ICE, even the Bahamas police and the police force overseas, and they still have not come to a resolution. Does your organization help women like that?
That's a good question. And the thing about it is that Caribbean Women in Leadership has partnered with UN Women. We have partnered with PAL Americas. We've partnered with so many international organizations looking at issues that affect women. As a matter of fact, even though, Haiti is considered part of the Caribbean space, we've lent our voices to the issues that are going on there. We are everywhere where there are matters that concern women. It's just that the founding of CWIL is generated in the Caribbean because unlike the United States, unlike Europe, we didn't have the organized collection of our voices before a kind of a Caribbean Women in Leadership. We didn't have one centralized place where we can say that you can find leading women represented. And so that's why it's Caribbean Women in Leadership. But certainly CWIL is party to and part of global conversations and global advocacy.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for that question.
Thanks for calling. Because you do have, and I know several people have issues who've married to American men or Bahamian men who've moved to the States with the children, and women are trying to get their children back, and they go through a hell of a lot of frustration
Yeah.
trying to be. So I guess it'll be good if even if y'all don't do it, it's to point them in the right direction. If there's a sister organization that they can talk to in the States,
Absolutely.
that could guide them and help them. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I know quite a few like that.
Yeah, and as an attorney, we've had to make applications under the Hague Convention when we talk about kidnapping across jurisdictions and all kinds of different legal issues. It's a lot to unpack, but I think that I guess we have to do more to advertise and let people know what services, what assistance is available for them, what resources are available for them to utilize, because so many people are going through so many different things. And I think one of the things that we've been trying to do, even with GBV, is when we're talking about it, also provide contact numbers, also provide resource material, because a lot of people won't come to you in that moment and say, this is what I'm dealing with, this is what I'm going through.
Yes.
But if they have the information, then in their own time and in their own way, then they can kind of utilize that. And so I think the caller has prompted me to look into the provision of something like that, maybe kind of categorizing various organizations that provide various services, both locally and internationally, that can address issues faced by women. And I think we started to do something like that, and we need to get back to completing that and making that available as a matter of public record.
Okay. Caller, you on the air? How you doing? Are you Dr.?
Good afternoon.
How are you there?
Good afternoon, Julie. Good afternoon, Mrs. Robin.
Good afternoon,
This is Julie.
Go ahead.
This is Richardson. There's Michael. And there's Julie from William Gordon. All the way back to William Gordon.
All righty.
All the way back, Richard. Don't say all the way back, because they could think we old.
She don't look older than me.
Yeah, I know. Congratulations on the work that you're doing so far. I'm always here in the United States, and I'm always tuning into the stuff that you're doing. I just wanted to talk in point on what you mentioned about marital rape. And I think marital rape is a term that causes a lot of back and forth in terms of people not agreeing. I think the multiple times that you look for sexual abuse in marriage, and I think that was more palatable in the Constitution, and people will probably be more receptive to the bill if they give it the term sexual abuse in marriage instead of saying marital rape. Because I think, especially in the nation, people can't accept the term marital rape. I know it's hard for me to accept, because I struggle with that term, because I can't understand how I could be raped in a marriage when I stood before the court and I stood before witnesses and I made vows. So that's what something is struggling in my mind. So I'll just hang up and listen to your response.
Okay, thank you for calling.
Yeah, I think the terminology has been cause for struggle, but I also think that there's a misconception too, that people believe that if you remove from the definition of rape who is not his spouse, that just that verbiage, if you remove that, then it's no longer discriminatory against a married woman, right? Or a married man. That all of a sudden there's going to be this influx of marital rape cases, all throughout the judicial system, when the truth of the matter is, in international countries where marital rape is on the law books, the prosecutions are almost non-existent. Because when you come to a point where you have accused your spouse of rape, the marriage is essentially over.
Done. It's finished.
There's no coming back from that. So I want people to get out of the mindset that a wife or a husband just gonna willy-nilly go through the legal process of saying, I was raped within the confines of my marriage, if these persons are not experiencing abuse to intolerable levels. So first and foremost, let's not be afraid, right? Because where there is no transgression, then the law is irrelevant to you. If you don't rape your wife, if you don't force your spouse to have sexual intercourse without their consent, then marital rape is not an issue for you.
Yeah.
But we have to be real about something, that there are marriages that are not functioning. They are toxic in their very existence.
Yes.
And there are husbands who don't act like husbands, who don't treat their wives the way husbands should treat their wives. And when we bring the biblical context into this, when we talk about wives submitting, who wouldn't want to submit to a love that loves you as Christ loves the church?
Amen.
This conversation is not for those people.
I understand.
You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because a man who loves his wife and is willing to give himself for her, the way Christ gave himself for the church, he's not going to beat you for sex.
Right.
He's not going to choke you for sex. He's not going to be able to be aroused by pulverizing you physically for sexual gratification.
That's not love.
That's not love. That is non-existent in the reality of real love. But we are talking about relationships where women are treated like nothing but sexual objects, and your feelings and your physical status, whether you're sick, whether you're going through,
Whether you
any
work
kind
all-
of
whether you
any
work all
kind
day
of
and you're tired.
physical exhaustion
Yep.
or mental depletion, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
You are objectified. This is what you need to do, and if you don't do that, you're getting beat until it's done. So we are talking about those instances, right?
I understand.
And again, I'm not a stickler for the verbiage,
I understand.
because I believe the verbiage has caused us massive delay. And I understand the proponents of marital rape are looking at the CEDAW Convention and other conventions that the Bahamas has become a signatory to, and our kind of commitment to bring certain things and make them enacted into our laws and compliance.
Okay.
But again, all that aside, I am more concerned about the fact that there are laws that address a woman who feels as though she's been sexually violated, even within the construct of a marriage, and a system that allows her to file complaint and to bring the perpetrator to justice in a way that she still maintains her dignity.
Yes.
And she is not raped and violated again and again because the system does not understand the psychology of being raped, the psychology of having someone violate you to that extent. So I just want us to focus on what is really important. And that is, even in our laws right now in the Sexual Offences Act, women can bring charges of sexual assault against a spouse.
Yes.
In our divorce court, if you are forced to have sexual intercourse within your marriage, and there is evidence, whether that is just verbal evidence, what you say, you bring that evidence before the court. If that is not refuted, then that's sufficient for a ground of cruelty to grant you a divorce. And so it's not as if rape is not used by Bahamian wives as a means to end and terminate their marriage. This is a live conversation, a live discussion. We just need to get past what is causing us all of the delay. And if it is the word, then let's call it something else. But let's move to the system and let's give resources, let's give assistance to parts in our judiciary and entities within the Royal Bahamas Police Force. I know Superintendent McKinsey and others are working so hard on the GBV unit, or the Domestic Violence Unit, in the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and trying to make sure that that unit has a presence in every police station.
With well-trained officers.
Well-trained officers who understand, because a lot of times the untrained officer, we've had women who complain that they go to stations and say, this is what happened, and the officer will tell them, that's between you and your husband.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't getting in that.
You can't say that.
Or y'all need to go to divorce court. Just simply not understanding that you are sending that woman into an environment where it is sufficiently critical that she may lose life or limb.
And it's risky because you do that next time you buy a house, you locking a man up for murder.
Exactly.
Let's take this caller. Call you on there. How you doing?
Hey, Pearly, what's up?
Hey, my brother. All is well.
Great. What's
Oh,
the name of
you
your
call in
guest?
this hour because you ain't want to call the next hour for me to ride you, but that's okay, no problem.
No, I can get you on the next hour.
Okay.
But I mean, the conversation is so interesting, and
Yeah.
your guest sounds so well-rounded
She
and
is.
knowledgeable.
Very sharp.
Wow.
Very sharp.
Just listening to her caused me to call in.
Thank
She
you.
sounds so knowledgeable. And what's her name?
Senator Robin Lyons.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't catch the beginning of the show. I just want to ask her, what brings a conviction between a husband and a wife? If the wife says she was raped and the husband says she was not, a case of you say, I say. I'm just being devil's advocate here. What brings a conviction?
Well, I think, and first of all, thank you for the compliment. That's very kind of you. I appreciate
And
you.
he doesn't give many compliments.
He
So
doesn't,
if he does
okay.
that, you doing well.
Listen, I better take that and box that.
Yes.
But I think that in any offense, the elements of the offense must be met, right? And so even in a situation where a sexual assault is the offense, then there are ways beyond you say and I say where the court would look at what they call corroborating evidence.
Yes.
And so that may be an examination of the genital area of the female to see whether or not there is any scarring or bruising or any indication of force, any kind of physical indication that there was force. And so it's a matter of evidence for the court to look at as well, and where you have the lack of any kind of corroboration.
Okay,
and it's just a you say and I say, that's going to be a
ask the
difficult
question.
case to prove.
Again, like I said, I'm being devil's advocate here. So, you mentioned the genital invasion. Suppose there was sex the night before that was consensual, and then there was forcible sex the night after that, and if the wife wants to call it rape, she can call it rape. Now, there was sex the night before. You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
So where is this general evidence coming from? Because there was consensual sex the night before. Explain that to me.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get
You really
into
being
I don't want to
advocate.
get into matters where, a prosecutor would have to bring their case based on the evidence that is provided by the complainant.
But you understand what I'm saying,
No, I
right?
do understand what you're saying, but that would be a matter for judge or jury, right?
Okay.
To make a determination. But again, we're talking about a wider conversation. And that conversation really is that, for me, women are not lining up before the courts to take their husbands to court on
Right.
any kind of allegation of sexual abuse, rape, or other in an unfounded way, because we're not talking about a sweetheart. We ain't talking about a little piece. We're talking about a wife.
Yep.
Right? We're talking about people who have merged their lives.
Two shall become
You
one.
know what I'm saying? And you're talking sometimes where children are involved, house involved, property involved. This is us. This is us.
Yes, yes,
I'm not lining up to destroy what we have built because I feel like saying you raped me. And we have and I don't want anyone to trivialize the gravity of an accusation like that. That is not an easy thing to say. And that is one of the reasons why, in a global context,
All right, well, thank you so much.
these complaints are almost non-existent because of how much it takes for a woman to get here. So I just really want us to look at what the conversation really is about, and that is about creating a legal avenue for a woman who feels as though in her marriage she is being sexually violated to such a degree where it is intolerable, and she's asking the law to intervene.
Mr. Producer, let's take a quick break because I just realized we ain't paid bills. Let's take a quick
you
break.
gotta
Call
pay.
it.
You
Call
gotta
it. Don't
pay
go anywhere.
bills.
We can come to you in a second. We can take a quick break. Hey, this is Pearly Talking Heads Thursday on Guardian Radio 96.9 with my special guest, Robin Lyons. We'll be right back.
Make Mother's Day one to remember with a delightful Mother's Day brunch valued at $300 courtesy of Haagen-Dazs and Fun Foods Wholesale. It's simple. Just head over to Lickety Split or Super Value locations and purchase a pint of your favorite Haagen-Dazs ice cream for just $8.99. After purchasing, don't forget to write your full name and number on the back of your receipt and drop it into any entry box at the store. You're now in the running for our grand prize drawing, taking place on May 10th. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Happy Mother's Day from Haagen-Dazs. Promotion ends May 8th.
Nice to meet you, Jazz. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm an independent 27-year-old manager who wants her own home with her own rules.
Sounds good. I'll help you get there.
We see you, the go-getter, with big plans, and we've been keeping you in mind. Follow your goal home with a mortgage from CIBC Caribbean, and don't bother about your home insurance, as we'll help with that and more. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more info. Conditions apply.
Enjoy the flavors of summer with a mega-sized KFC combo and get a secret code for a chance to win. KFC and Pepsi is giving away daily beach bundles of a KFC bag packed with KFC shades, a bucket of 25 KFC whole wings, and a 2-liter Pepsi, plus a weekly cash prize of $1,000. Whether it's original recipe, spicy, or barbecue, get your favorite KFC combo today and mega-size your summer fun. KFC Nassau, it's mega finger-licking good.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And we're back. We're back talking here. It's Thursday with Pearlie and Guardian Radio 96.9. Call, I coming to you right now. Let me just read a couple of these texts quickly. OMG, when will this feminist nonsense stop? The pay gap has been debunked many, many times over the years. There's no pay gap. Jesus Christ, where's this? Actually, there's evidence to show that this you wrong, Mr. Texter. If you got evidence to show me that has been debunked, send it to me, please, and I'll be happy to read it for you. And yet you want parliamentary quotas. Nobody wants parliamentary quotas. I personally would like to see more women involved, not just a bunch of men running the country. I want to see some women involved to get total look at everything that needs to happen in the country. So if it's 10 more women, fine. If it's 5 more women, I'm not saying we have to have 10 women in the house. No. I think we should have just more women in the house. That's my view on it, okay? You say it's not about men versus women. When you say men are out of place, so women have to do everything. Again, hypocritical. And when in human history have women been problem solvers? Almost all inventions ever have been. Come on, Texter. We have the highest, probably in the region, of single women raising children in this country. And usually men are absent. I know many, many women who are raising their kids on their own. Many I've helped, being there as a godfather, as a friend, or whatever. So when we make these kind of statements, I respect your opinion, Dexter. I respect that. But I can't let you say things that don't hold no water with me. I do apologize for that. Great show, as usual. All y'all don't want to touch this topic, but incest is just as bad. And juicing your cousin, who in the hell start that saying cousins make dozens. I bet you that person from Alabama behave, Dexter. Text and honestly, that is an issue. That is a concern in this country. That's a concern. I don't condone that, and I don't condone gray ass men fooling with young girls. I don't condone that. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Hi, Pearlie.
How are you, madam? I tell them when I call you that day. Somebody text me and say I can't call you, darling. So I have to say hello. How are you, ma'am?
Oh, hi, darling. I'll say the darling there.
Thank you so much. How you doing?
Good day, Miss Lang.
Good day. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And, this is a sore topic for me, for lack of a better word, because I feel like so much men are in charge and, like Pearlie was saying, more women in there, but I don't feel like more women in there would help it. The women in there need to speak up. There's so much of the new MPs that we don't hear anything from. I mean, literally, we don't hear anything about them. We don't hear anything from them. It's like they're just there warming the seats. You understand? And so much females, and I'm really disappointed. I mean, I've heard from you guys, you said a few things here and there in the Senate and so on, but I feel like the ladies, them in the House level, says nothing. You understand? And I feel like if we have more women involved, we would get somewhere with this. But I don't know if there is a hush thing going on with them that they're not allowed to speak. on these topics, but it's disappointing as a female who have voted for female, and now feeling left out. You understand my point? I mean, I don't know if you understand me.
I don't think there's any hush. And the party whip only on certain things when it comes to politics, but the female parliamentarians have the option to talk about anything they want to talk about, particularly, even if you watch the debates, they may be talking about gang violence, but they can talk about other things during the debate. So I think you need to call on the women and say, hey, we need to hear more from you in reference to things like this. And I'm sure there's a lot of good parliamentarians who's willing to talk about stuff like that. So thanks for calling.
Okay, but then you have so much people are saying that they don't believe that these things can happen. Most of the time, from what I've seen, it doesn't happen while the couples are married. These usually happen when the woman wants to leave and the man don't want you to leave or feel like he owns you no matter where you go. Is where the most of something like this would happen. I don't feel like it happens while they are cohabitating in the same house. That's how I've seen it before, and that's how I've seen it. It happened after the lady stepped out to try and free herself.
Understood. In my case, when my ex told me she wanted to leave, I asked her where to sign. I didn't put up a fuss. Not that I wanted it to happen, but I didn't put up a fuss and nothing because I understand. Hey, she didn't want me no more, so time to go.
However, Pearlie, that's different. You're a man.
He's a man.
Yes, try to be a real man, dude. That's the way my father raised me.
So that's different.
Yes, I got you.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. I got a couple more callers I need to take.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
so
darling.
many different scenarios and situations that happen
Yes.
In people and their private lives. And people have to understand, too, we're talking about a marriage. We're talking about right to privacy. We're talking about all of those things. And I just keep reiterating, no one is lining up to destroy their home.
No one's going to do that unless they really
without merit, without justification. And where you find that someone is willing to blow up their household for no reason at all, then you're talking about someone who's dealing probably with mental health issues, and that's a completely different
another story. We can talk about that today. We need to have that another day.
Exactly.
Carly on there, how you doing? You going, Carla? I guess I want impatient on me. Carly on there, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, my buddy?
Hey, my brother, all is well.
Hey, let me ask your guest, what will change once this bill is passed?
Which bill?
This rape, this marital rape. What will change? What will happen then? Reason why I ask, right? Before someone forced themselves on their wife or their spouse, 9 out of 10 times there is already physical abuse.
Okay.
9 out of 10 times that physical abuse isn't reported.
Right.
So because now the rape is now against the law, against the law, a marital rape is against the law. Why is it that every time that she believes that they will report rape if they're not reporting the physical abuse?
Well, I mean, that's not my belief. I mean, and if you heard the conversation we were talking about, that's exactly what we are talking about, that we need to focus and lend resources to the system, to the justice system, so that people who are victims of any form of violence feel sufficiently confident in the system that they can make complaint, that they can seek redress without again feeling violated. So
no, I understand that, but if they're not that comfortable to feel as if they're going to get redress from physical abuse, I mean, what's going to give them the confidence to make them feel that they're going to get the same thing from being raped?
I think that goes to what Robin Lyons said to us, with getting the GBV departments in the police force better organized, train these officers, make them understand the sensitivity of what they're going through. I think
medical health professionals,
yes,
the judiciary,
yes,
you understanding.
So it's not just passing the law; it's also training and sensitizing the different organizations on how to deal with this and how to understand what that female or what that woman, or even in some cases what the man is going through.
Yeah, and to the caller's point, maybe it changes nothing. Maybe the inclusion of a spouse in the definition of rape, maybe that does absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
That doesn't prompt a woman to file a report or to file a complaint. I don't think the objective is to try to see how many people we can get to file complaint. I think the objective is to see.
The point I'm trying to make is, right?
Okay.
In an abusive relationship, the whole community knows that woman is getting beat. Every man that do this beat that girl. Everybody knows this. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the community itself is not coming to that woman rescue until it's too late. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to figure out what will add that language to the law. What will that change? If the community, if the woman, if nobody is trying to help her in that situation.
Yeah, well, to answer your question, in and of itself, it will change very little or nothing. And that's why it has to be a systemic approach. A systemic approach to violence, a systemic approach to sexual assaults, a systemic approach to all of the matters that we see infiltrating our country and the adverse impact this is having on us as people. So whether that's incest, whether that's pedophilia, whether that is rape, whether that is sexual abuse of a spouse, wherever we find these issues, there's a system that people have to enter into to go from complaint to conviction.
Yes.
And if that is not our focal area of making sure that from complaint to conviction, it's not 5, 6, 7 years, that there's sensitization training on all spheres and fronts, that the persons who are handling and managing these cases, right, are sufficiently equipped not just to advance the complainant, but to also be able to provide mental health support, etc., perpetrator rehabilitation, all of these different things. We have to look at also the fact that not every complainant is true.
Yes.
So there is still a presumption of innocence that even when I file a complaint against somebody, they're not guilty until proven to be so. So we're not, what are we advocating for? We're advocating for justice.
Amen.
In all shapes and forms.
Amen. We out of time. I look at my watch, I said, I thought you only been here 5 minutes, an hour's gone.
Man, I thought I just reached, man.
You got to promise me you're going to come back.
I promise.
And when you come back, we're going to talk more about this, and then I want to bring you back another time so we can talk about the other things, right? I am so happy I got an opportunity. I've admired you from afar for so long.
Appreciate that
and I'm so happy I got an opportunity to meet you.
Thank
and
you.
I look forward to us talking a lot more.
Listen, and anyone who wants to join CWIL and be part of the conversation, I have to put in this little plug. We have a social at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Cultures conference room next week, Friday. The 26th at 6:30 p.m. We're just going to be there hanging, talking, fellowshipping as women leaders, and looking at where we need to lend our collective power. I also want to say
men invited to or just women?
I mean, we don't mind a couple of men.
I don't mind getting spoiled a little bit, you know.
We love men. we love men. But I also want to say happy birthday to Minister Pia Glover Rose.
Happy birthday,
Pia. Who's
Pia.
celebrating her birthday today. She's my sister and friend.
21. Huh? 21 today.
No, man, she ain't that old yet. 20. But I'm sure she's enjoying herself.
I'm sure she is. Happy birthday, Minister. Thank you for coming. It's been a great 1 hour. We ran out of time. Talking Heads Thursdays with Pearlie and my special guest, Senator Robin Lyons. So happy to have you here with me. Look forward to having you again real soon.
Much.
We'll be back. When we come back, we're going to talk youth flag football, and then we can get a little bit into the Carifton situation, okay? This is Pearlie Talking Heads Thursdays. Thanks for listening. See you right after the news.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We gonna make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
Made exactly the way they should be, by someone with chicken in their name. The new Kentucky Chicken Sandwiches feature a 1/4 pound of all-white meat, triple breaded, spicy chicken breast filet on a freshly toasted buttery brioche bun. With your choice of lettuce, tomato, bacon, thick-cut pickles, and the perfect amount of Colonel's real mayo or spicy sauce. Every chicken sandwich is freshly prepared and piping hot. Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwiches, the only chicken sandwiches that are finger-licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
And welcome back to Talking Heads Thursday with Pearlie in the house, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Hey, we talking sports now. We can get into Carifta, people. I know you're not anxious about that, but I have my special guests who've been with me since I started. And when they call, I let them on the show. Youth flag football of the Bahamas Youth Flag Football is in the house. And they're coming up with the high school flag football championships. As this Saturday coming?
Yes.
Saturday coming. And we have a couple of kids in here from another school that I don't... We can talk about that later. Let's take a quick look on the sports page. Heel makes playoffs for first time. We got a Bahamian back in the playoffs, even though they're sixer. Heel was instrumental in the win, hitting some big baskets in the third quarter in particular to help the Sixers come back from a 14-point hole. Heel scored all 7 of his points in the third quarter, going 3 for 4 from the field and 1 for 2 from three-point line. The Bahamas loses to Canada. Giants sweep the Rockets in Division 2 basketball. That's what's in the sports section. I'm happy for Buddy Hield. Happy that I know Muff don't want to hear this, but I was actually pulling for the Sixers over the Heat last night. I want to see that old. When I grew up watching the Lakers and the Celtics or the Lakers and the Sixers, I want to see that. I wanted to see that Miami-Boston route, but this Sixers-Boston thing should be nice. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about what's going on in Sixers. No, they're playing Boston. They're going to play Boston in the second round. Whatever happened to Sixers, you're going to have plenty of work to do. You're going to have plenty of work to do. But we have in the house here some of my good friends from the Bahamas Flag Football Association. We have the high school flag football competition. So let's meet our 2 athletes who are here. We start with the young man from the other school in Fox Hill. What's your name, sir?
My name is Jaden Johnson.
And you attend, what school and what grade are you in?
Gainsborough Academy, grade 11.
So what position you play?
I play the running back position.
Yeah, you build like one of them now. Yeah, you build like one of them. Football, you love football or just something new to you?
I love football. I've been trying to start like American, like the tackle one. Ain't too luck with that.
They do have a league, the Commonwealth American Football League, head by Obi Roberts. I almost called it wrong. Obi Roberts. He's the president of it, and I think they play in the D.W. Davis field. I don't know when, but we'll get you link up with them. I'll get the numbers to Jason and get you link up with them. Okay.
All right.
And you like American football, so who's your NFL team?
The Ravens.
The Ravens.
Okay.
You got a good team. You got a good quarterback.
Of course.
Next young man, who you, anyway, who you, I only message you, okay? Don't take it personal. What's your name and what school you from and what grade are you in?
I'm Mari Johnson of Queens College.
Now y'all see why I react in the way I react, right, people? He's from Queens College, and what grade are you in?
Grade 9.
And what position you play?
Quarterback.
Quarterback, got a good arm? Ask the coach? That's your coach next to you, yeah?
No, I'm not coaching it. Actually, that's one of their coaches.
Oh, he got a good arm?
He's good.
Okay. Who's your favorite football team?
Kansas City Chiefs.
So you like Mahomes? That's your favorite quarterback. You got a good. You try to image your game, parallel your game like him. Sometimes you run a lot too. You scramble a lot.
If I have to.
You have to. Okay. You hoping to play football for college or even one day in the NFL?
Probably for college. They got something to do. But take it off as a career. That road a little slim.
The books more important.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to study?
Music and business.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can make the music, make the rest. You got to be able to manage the money. I hear that. What are you hoping? Are you hoping to play some college football?
If the opportunity presents itself.
See, the kid's smart, you know. You know, say what you want to say about QC. They got some smart kids. I like it. The opportunity presents itself. That's wonderful. Okay, that's wonderful. What are you hoping to study?
Probably maritime law.
Really? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Brother Jay. Oh, hold on. Introduce yourself, Coach. I see women first. See, I'm just giving you the mic right away. This ain't your first time with me, so still tell us about you.
My name is Ine Marshall. I am the public relations for BYFFL. I'm also a head coach of the 6 to 9 team, and I'm also the coach for Queens College in the high school tournament on Saturday.
Now, I mean, this is so fitting because I just had on my first show talking about women and gender-based and women and talking about Seawall and Caribbean women. A woman head coach.
Yes, sir.
Apparently, she left off the fact that she said she's the head coach of the 6 to 9 team, right? They're the champions.
Really? Okay. A championship female coach.
2 years back to back.
So how long you've always liked football?
I have learned to love the game probably about 12, 15 years ago. Started playing flag 12 years ago and started coaching about six years.
Wow.
Yeah, 7.
This is amazing. And who's your favorite NFL team?
My team is the Patriots. I'm not a Brady fan. I'm a Patriots fan.
They got more beaten to tote this year.
That's understandable.
So
we could be in transition for 2 years. The Dolphins been in transition for how many years?
Hey, 1 second. We're talking about the BYFFL.
You are on my show. You are on my show, right?
We are talking with the high school tournament. Let's remain focused here.
No, yes, stay focused now. Stay focused.
Pardon me.
Wonderful. That's great. Jace, tell me what's happening. Tell me a little more what we expect on the weekend.
And this
first, before you do that,
yes, sir.
Let's backtrack a couple of months here. 'Cause I can't cuss you the way I want to cuss you on the radio, right? You guys went off to Texas. I don't know what happened. Tell me what happened there first, and then tell us what's happening this Saturday.
All right, so we did go off to Nationals, which was played in San Antonio, Texas. Of course, Ine was with the team as well.
Okay, super.
And the team performed very admirably. We took 3 teams, 13U, a 14U, and a 17U team. All the teams did very well. After day one of our teams already qualified for the semifinals.
Okay.
Which would have been the following day. And I think our 13U team also made it, but 2 of our teams lost in semifinals.
Okay.
And 1 of our teams didn't make it to the semifinal there.
Okay.
But they all had wins. And very, very, very proud of them. I think this may have been the best we've done. Each year we've been improving more and more.
So next year, hopefully, championship.
Definitely. I will tell you, one of our teams is a very advanced team. Actually, 2 of those kids on that team are actually off to school right now in high school in the States. Right? One is playing tackle football.
I think I met
Monroe.
I think.
Yes, I think he came one of the shows.
Yeah, he was on the show. Yeah,
but he went off and he's playing. He's the starting quarterback. I think he's in.
Say it loud.
You go ahead. Sabashio College. That's where he's actually playing. Not college. High school.
Okay.
Is where he's playing. But hey, and I'm hoping his parents does what our other parent does. Brian Neely is the other one who's also off to school. But Brian Neely was off a year before him.
Okay.
And his parents ensure that all of the tournaments we compete overseas, they fly him to those tournaments to compete with our traveling teams.
Wonderful.
So we're hoping the Monroes do the very same thing with Chris, which I think they do because they're both involved in our league.
Okay.
They have him participate in the tournaments we go to play in.
Super. See, this is what's all about, getting the kids off to school.
And keeping those kids playing together is really what keeps that chemistry real tight.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Those guys have been together probably the longest.
Okay.
It's a very special group.
Super.
Very special group.
So what's happening Saturday? Where
so
how?
this Saturday we're going to be having our 2nd annual high school tournament.
Okay.
We had the first one last year with 4 schools participating. This year we have 6 schools participating with a total of 9 teams.
Who are the defending champs from last
year? The defending champs are Kingsway Academy and the Big Red Machine SAC.
I just wanted to hear that, Joe. I just wanted to hear you say that.
So SAC won over Kingsway in our under 14 division last year, 28-12.
Okay.
And in the over 14 division, Kingsway won over SAC, 29-6.
Okay.
So even though it's two different teams, those two schools kind of rose to the top in that regard. But from what I'm seeing and what I've been seeing, some of these schools that are coming in, like QC themselves, are really going to be a wrecking force.
So who all coming in this year? SAC,
so
QC?
this year we actually have Doris Johnson.
Wonderful.
Yeah, they have two teams.
Okay.
They registered fairly late, which was last week. And so they're in.
Okay.
We have Queen's College with two teams. We have Kingsway with one team. We have Windsor, who's coming in with two teams.
Okay.
Yeah, and those teams are pretty competitive.
Some of them, they got little American kids in those.
But hey, those guys are playing flag.
Okay.
They actually sent us an Instagram video last night with their practice. No, they're pretty good.
Okay.
And we hosted an event actually for them a couple of weeks ago with those kids, and they're pretty good. SAC has two teams.
Okay.
And just this week, CV Bethel, we're just waiting on their formal authorization, is registering a team to play as well.
Wonderful.
So it's growing, it's catching on. We're really looking forward to a great time on Saturday.
Where?
We start at 9 at the open fields right opposite the original Thomas A. Robinson Stadium.
So that's where they practice soccer. I think they have soccer on
They have
some
soccer there,
Saturdays.
but you'll see the field label as the home of the
I think I may have seen
If you're on
that.
Thompson Boulevard
I think I may have
side,
seen
you'll
that.
see a big sign that says home of flag football.
So you're gonna take that over?
We ain't taking it over, but that's our home.
Wonderful.
And so it's more dominant on that. So the opening ceremony is at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Like last year, the Minister of Sports, Minister Mario Boleg, will be doing the opening remarks. We have
Wonderful.
a brief opening ceremony, and then we kick the games off probably at about 9:30 until about 3 o'clock.
Is there an entry fee?
There's a small entry fee, I think, of about $5.
Okay.
And for the most part, that's just to really cover the cost of what we're doing out there, because we have to rent the field. The teams don't pay anything to come in. So it's just to really cover the cost for the
Cover
day.
the field and whatever you need.
Those miscellaneous costs and what have you.
Okay, so Saturday, 9 a.m. at the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center, open fields next to the old track.
Yes, sir.
The Bahamas Youth Football High School Flag Football Championships.
Yes, sir. It's the second time we're having it, and we will also, if I must say, we will also have food and drinks and stuff on sale.
Of course,
we're gonna
bring you
be
the
there
money.
quite a bit and what have you. So really looking forward to it.
You're on the defending champions.
Yes, sir. We are the defending champions.
And you open to hold on to that title. Or you will hold on to that title.
We will. And we can try our best to do so.
Okay, and this is your first time. And this is your first time for.
I got a question for Kingswood, right? 'Cause
Go ahead.
Their star quarterback has gone off to school, so I want to see who's their replacement.
Don't worry about it. You got that
Don't
covered.
worry
Eh?
about that.
You got
Y'all
that
see
covered.
him? Y'all can see him.
You can say, oh my goodness. And this is QC's first time in the high school championship, so you expect big things?
Yes, sir.
I mean, second place is not bad, eh?
It is kind of bad.
Second place is soccer all this time.
But listen.
What happens, right?
I went to St. Augustine's, but I like the teas, and I have had family members and their friends, and I actually married a QC woman. So in that QC ain't all that bad to me, right? All that bad. So I just want to see you kids do well. That's all about. So when I come and tease, I hope when me teasing you gives you a little inspiration. Boy, that Mr. Thompson, and you're talking about Sac, we can mash Sac. I can't wait to come back on the show and tease him. That's what I'm looking forward to see. Not that it can happen, but I'm looking forward to seeing you do that.
It can happen.
It can happen? Okay, so
I peeped a few QC practices, stealing some footage, and I can tell you, their team is very well prepared. So
Okay.
I'm excited to see them perform.
So next week when you come back, you bring in the champions.
We will be back next week, and we will bring representatives from the two championship teams on air.
And if Sac beat Kingsway, right? I want you to bring the Sac boys and that Kingsway fella too, right? Because I want these them back there, right? Is that a deal? Win, lose, or draw, you coming back next week?
Yeah, we winning for sure. Ain't no lose.
Ain't no lose. And you feel equally as confident. You're the quarterback, so I want to see your arm.
Yes, sir. I think we have a fair shot.
Okay. All right. I can swing through and take a look and see how you look, okay?
Yes, sir.
We'll see if humility wins or confidence wins. this
Amen.
Saturday.
Either or. This has been Bahamas Flag Football, Youth Football. Coach, anything else you want to tell us? What we can expect? Because you're coaching a team, right?
Yes, I will be coaching the QC
Your
team.
kids go to QCA.
No,
Okay.
but that was my team last
Trader,
season I was
okay.
assigned to. And
Trader.
so,
Okay.
yeah, I got them back this year.
Okay. All right. But that's fine. That's wonderful. I mean, with your experience and coming with championships, that will help them. Being
Yes.
the rookie team in this tournament, it'll help them to develop as young players.
Most definitely.
Okay, so let's see y'all on Saturday at 9 a.m. to check out the Bahamas Youth Football High School Flag Football Championships. This is going to be great. It was been great last year and the year before.
Even better.
And we're looking for it to be even better this year. And this, you know, football is a popular sport. It's growing in the Bahamas. We like to watch football. I'm a big Dolphin fan. We like to watch football every weekend, every Sunday. And to see more and more young kids getting involved. I'm an advocate for getting tackle football in schools here. But the problem with that is it costs a lot to do. It's cheaper to do basketball, baseball. You can do basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, and track and field all for the same money or less than it would cost you to do football. And I've had family members who play football in the States and went to Georgia Tech and in different schools in the States and play. And at my university, I know that's the most expensive sport because the equipment, everything you need, the doctors, the trainers, all that is really a lot. But hopefully we'll get it here one day. Go ahead.
All right, just two final points as we close out here. I just want to say, immediately following our tournament this weekend, we're actually going to have a spring season. First time we've ever done this.
Super.
We're going to have a spring
football
season. Yes, that starts the following Saturday.
And
registration is just opened yesterday. And so, therefore, we'll have a spring season that goes from the 27th to June 22nd.
Okay, y'all should get The Rock to be about it because he believes in spring football.
Yeah, and if you allow me, I just want to, if I can say
What you mean if I allow you? Come on, man.
I just want to say thanks because there are a number of sponsors.
Please do. I was going to ask you
who would have
thank
made
your
this
sponsors.
possible.
Tell us who they are.
Definitely Pedialyte. We have RBC. Bahamas Waste has been great to us as well.
Super.
Fidelity and definitely Royal Star Assurance.
As Roscoe for that Fidelity.
Those guys
Good guy.
Those guys have really made sure that we can make things like this happen by helping us to support our program.
Thanks for coming. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. So since we get into spring football, we can talk for several Thursdays in a row now, right?
Sure, we can.
Okay. No, we'll be looking.
We'll give them a week or two for the newer kids to kind of get acclimated.
No problem.
So definitely once those games started, we definitely could bring results.
Well, tell Muffy when she find time to be in Nassau to come on the show with me, she can give me a shout, right?
I'm sure Muffy's going to be reaching out to you pretty soon.
I'm sure. We spoke as when she texted, she's been all. I said, Muffy, come on, I understand, man. I understand. Yeah. But I'm happy to have you guys here. I look forward to seeing you guys come back. Great time. Do well. I'll see y'all on Saturday. Bahamas Youth Flag Football Association is in the house. This is Pearlie at Guardian Radio 96.9 Talking Heads Thursday. When we come back, we can get a little bit into that Carifta money thing, and then we'll get our picks. We'll be right back.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
Play with Island Games, we making dreams come true. Play with Island Games, we paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market, you getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy, and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first, guaranteed to pay. Island Games, we like them other jokers. We've been here from the start, from the bike to computer. Island Games, we gonna make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion information at your feet.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. You can buy your local paper at Freeport convenience stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Now is the time to reach your Grand Bahama market with affordable packages, including print and digital. Call GB News sales representative Kavandre at 822-6717 or message him on WhatsApp for ad rates. Classified ads are now available every Tuesday as well. Keep up with everything Grand Bahamian every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And welcome back. Talking Heads Thursday with Pearlie in the house, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I know y'all thought I forget, but today in sports history, no, I did not forget. I just wanted to talk to my flag football people so we could get into the meat of the show. Today is Thursday, April 18, 2024. Today in sports history, in 1923, Yankee Stadium opened in the Bronx, New York. The Yankees beat the Boston Red Sox 4-1. John Philip Sosa band played the national anthem, Yankee Stadium. I have a cousin he lived on the 18th floor in this apartment, and you could throw a rock, you could throw a baseball and hit Yankee Stadium. So I've had the opportunity to go there. In 1938, U.S. President Roosevelt threw out the first ball preceding the season opener between the Washington Senators and the Philadelphia Athletics, who later became the Oakland Athletics. In 1956, Ed Rommel became the first umpire to wear glasses during a Major League Baseball game. The game was between the New York Yankees and the Washington Senators. In 1962, Bill Russell of the Boston Celtics scored 30 points and got 40 rebounds in a win over my Los Angeles Lakers. It was the fourth straight NBA title for the Celtics, beating up on Bill Distill. No, Bill wasn't there yet. That's 62. In 1966, Bill Russell became the first player coach for the night for the Boston Celtics. In 1977, Eddie Murphy hit his first career home run. In 1982, the Atlanta Braves set a National League record when they won their 11th straight game from the start of the season. In 1985, Tulane University abolished its 72-year-old basketball program. The reason was charge of fixed games, drug abuse, and payment to players. That was a scandal. That was terrible. In 1987, Mike Schmidt of the Philadelphia Phillies hit his 500th career home run. In 1987, also, the New York Islanders beat the Washington Capitals 3-2, 68 minutes and 47 seconds into overtime. It was the sixth longest game in NHL history. In 1995, Joe Montana retired from the NFL. In 1999, Wayne Gretzky of the New York Rangers played his first game in the NHL. During the game, Gretzky got his 2,857 NHL point. He retired as the NHL's all-time leading scorer and holder of 61 individual records. He is truly the GOAT. In 2002, Peter Forsberg, Colorado Avalanche, returned to hockey in Game 1 of the Western Conference quarterfinals against the Los Angeles Kings. Forsberg had not played since May 10, 2001, when he had his spleen removed in an emergency operation. In 2005, it was announced the NFL Monday Night Football would leave ABC in 2006 for a new home with ESPN. Monday Night Football had been on ABC since 1970. ABC owned ESPN, so it's not a big deal. Sports quote of the day. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up again. Vince Lombardi. Who's in and who's out? We talked a little bit, the NBA play-in game, so we know who in. The Lakers are in the playoffs. We know who else is in. The 76ers are in the playoffs. So I think tomorrow you have the loser. The Lakers beat. Who the Lakers beat? We beat the Pelicans, and the Pelicans will play the Golden State Warriors to see who. No, they don't play the Golden State. They play the Kings, the Sacramento Kings. Sorry, Golden State gone home. The Pelicans will play the Sacramento Kings for the 8th place, with the privilege of playing the Oklahoma Thunder. Over in the East Conference, the 76ers beat the Miami Heat, and the Chicago Bulls beat the Atlanta Hawks. So Chicago and Miami will play on Saturday, I think it is, if I remember correctly, for the right to play in the number 8 spot to meet the Boston Celtics. Who's out? Jimmy Butler will not be playing in that game. He has an MCL injury. He actually hurt it in the first quarter yesterday and continued to play on it, which was admirable and courageous. But he's not there. He's not going to play. He's not going to be in there. And that's going to be tough for them. So that's who's in and who's out. Now, let's get to this. Hold on. I got one. Texter mad at me. Texter, I don't want you to be mad at me. And don't be calling me these names. Say, Pearlie, I like you, bro, but you little softish. But ain't nothing soft but this man. You little softish, but you just as agree and sympathize and never be skeptical or push back or read the pushback. This a paid ad. No, you know what paid me nothing. All right, I can read to Texas. You say it's not about men versus women. Then you say men are out of place. We read that. Gender-based violence is other feminist lie that fools buy like candy. No group in the entire world would face more physical violence than men. That's been proven. Then send me the information. Send me your numbers, bro. So what if some female simply accuse a male of rape? Then you want the police to lock the guy up? You people have to know the destruction this brings to men in their lives. The human race is officially doomed. We're still playing and buying this malarkey. I can leave that because we can comment about that and be talking sports today. Be talking what's going on right now and it's going on with Carifta. And I looked, I saw this article in the papers this morning. Improper handling of the Carifta funds. And caller, we can get to you right now, caller. That's all. We can come to you right now. Games had $829,821 deficit. And then I saw some comments that came from the chairman of the PLP in regards to say it, and I'm very anxious for when the facts do come out. And some of the questions he asked, and I'm, and I started asking myself some of these questions. What's going on here? Is this really happening? How is this? And let's put it this way. I know the person in charge of the LOC. And that's an admirable person. Very honest brother. So I'm not. Pearlie is not saying anybody stole anything. I don't believe that at all. I just believe that we like to show a good time because when I read the report, it said that a lot of things weren't done. The agreements weren't signed. The contracts that were given for sponsorship weren't fulfilled. A lot of money was spent on things unrelated to the Carifta games, and unrelated to the games, the track and field. And somebody said, we just like to show a good time. So we start spending, and we didn't properly set up the salary scales. We didn't properly look at what overtime will be. So all this money was being spent and things were happening and making it happen. And great, hey, did a fantastic job. We look good. But some things ain't happen right. And we need to answer. We need to know what's going on with that. I would think that the auditor, I personally don't think the Auditor General should go directly to the minister. I don't think the auditor, because that's supposed to be an independent post. And I don't think he should be going to the minister himself to have any conversation, because I don't want to see any collaboration with the minister. The PS is responsible for the management of that ministry, and I would think and I would hope that and I'm pretty certain he would have done this, that he would approach the PS, send a report to the PS, ask the PS for some input, and expect a response, and then I didn't see a response from the ministry in that auditor's report. So I don't know if the ministry responded. And so these are kind of the questions that we need to ask. These are the kind of things that we get to the bottom of what went down here. Why they spend these millions more dollars? You budget $1 million and you're going almost to $6 million. You gotta say how. And the auditor only doing his job, He only reporting what he saw, what was done based on the law, based on what you should do from what you should not do. So I don't want to get down on him. I want to find out from the ministry what happened. I want to find out from the government what happened. I want to find out from the local organizing committee what happened. And that note, I can take this caller. Caller, what you saying?
What's up, man? St. Petersburg. What's up?
Hey, Petersburg. How you doing? How's the traffic?
Man, hey, it's good, man. Hey, tell Mark and Mystery, I send them Kleenex and them Depends.
Listen.
Because he know they can beat Chicago, boy.
Mom say, man, Pearlie, I want to talk about it. I'm so disappointed. I'm so upset.
Boy, look out. Hey, I was waiting to call. I said, boy, and I thought Philly was going to lose that game because Miami came was smoking, you know what I'm saying?
I think the injury to Butler slowed him down a little. He wasn't quite as effective in the fourth quarter, and I think that played a part in it.
And Butler ain't playing? Boy, I don't see them, but that boy from North Carolina.
Bulls looked good last night. They played a game last night. That brought out 41 points, career high. Man, he needs a haircut, though. He really needs a haircut. But he had Kobe whiter than Kobe.
He needed to cut his hair.
I thought I was seeing the Mamba. I thought I was seeing Kobe Bryant. He got off like Kobe. He lived up to the name last night. He lived up to the name last night.
You need to cut his hair or put it in a ponytail or something, man. This look crazy.
Listen, if it working, you don't change nothing. These, sports athletes are superstitious. If it working, don't change nothing.
Hey, so what's up with this scandal going on, man? Somebody stealing somebody?
No. I like I said, I don't think anybody. I think it's just overspending. I just think we got just overspent. The Carifta Games was budgeted for X amount of dollars. $1 million, I think it was the budget. They went way over budget. But they got, let's put it this way, they got more monies, but they went over that. They didn't follow all the rules. They didn't sign certain contracts. They just went out and did the event. Let's just made it happen.
Look here. When money involved, somebody pickpocket something. Trust me.
I don't think so. I honestly think I know the person in charge at LOC. He's a great person. He's a really honest brother. I've worked with him on more than one occasion. I respect him as a person. I respect him as an accountant, as a professional. I just think that the people and who put on the Carifta Games and who did the Bahamas Games, I think they just started to say, listen, we can make this a good event. We can do this, and they just spent and didn't pay attention to a budget. That's all. That's my opinion on it.
So check it out. So you think Clay Thompson finished with Golden State, man?
There was a conversation about that this morning on the ESPN. Should they break up that dynasty? First of all, is the Warriors dynasty over? Yeah. And should they break it up? I personally, they were 28-11 or 28-12 with Draymond Green, and 10-11 or 11-10 without him. He is the key factor to that team winning. With Clay and with Steph, I think he's the backbone of the team, and without him, and so they have to make a decision: do they really want to go on with his antics and the way he carries on, and or do they want to move on and rebuild that team? That they have a lot of questions to ask in off season. I really don't care what they do because I'm a Laker.
Is he playing for the national team, man?
I don't know. I heard some talks that may happen. I hope it does. We could use his shooting.
Yeah.
We should have some word about that pretty soon, because I think they have to be in Paris July 2nd or something to play July 2nd for the playing team. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there.
But look here, the Bahamas got a chance to get a medal now. That team, if they be healthy, they could do some damage, man.
They do have a chance. They have a good team. If that team healthy with Eric Gordon, with Buddy Hield, and DeAndre Ayton and Kai Jones, we got 4 NBA players. We got 4 NBA players on that team, and with the fifth, we can look good.
We can make history, man.
We can surprise some people. We can. I don't know if we can beat the great United States, but I think we can. If they sleep on us, we can.
Did you see that U.S. squad, man?
Yeah.
Oh my God, boy, look at
that's a deep team.
Boy. I don't see nobody beating them, boy.
That's a deep. You got a couple players who would start for any country, and they coming off the bench for the United States.
Woo, Lord,
so it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm excited about it, and we'll see what happens in July.
No, only 2 days. Only 3 sports I like to watch in Olympics: track and field, ladies volleyball, and basketball. You gotta watch the volleyball, boy.
Hey, tell me about it. I can watch it. I actually watch basketball. I watch volley. You get me in trouble. I watch volleyball. I watch the track and field. I like the gymnastics. I love the gymnastics. The female gymnastics. I ain't too sure about the men.
Hey, that Brazilian team, the American team, the Cuban team. Oh my God. And
boxing is be pretty good as well.
Yeah, but them ladies volleyball, boy, Lord have mercy. Them Cuban girls, Lord have mercy.
To beat this boy, I can let you go now because you gonna get me in trouble.
All right.
Take care, my brother. You be good. All right. Let's read this text. Says, Pearly, regarding the Carifta Games report that was tabled, unless, oh Lord, something pop up on the screen. Hold on, bear with me in half a second. Unless anyone is arrested and going to jail, nothing will change, and this corruption will continue. From my understanding, this same thing is happening at the World Relays that are going to be held in 2 weeks. Enough is enough of wasting our VAT money, our tax money. That's your VAT money. Let's see what it says here. This person said, great show as usual, Pearly. This might sound super stupid, but I don't think people in the Bahamas in large actually know what rape is. For people think no means yes, and also most of us men wake up 2 a.m. if we get excited and our women on the side are sleeping, we just want to do stuff. I had to change some of the words, stuff here I cannot say on radio. Also, if a woman's walking through the crowd, people think it's normal just to park. No, I think that's very disrespectful, and that's why I don't take my girlfriend to Junkanoo. We have done a lot of stuff through generation of perversion. Great show as usual. Also, if the man does straight up rape a woman, he should get 6 times every 3 months and 25 years in jail. Let's see. Great show as usual. Is Buddy going to be the greatest athlete in the Bahamas? Also, will the Lakers be in out in the first round. Now, let's look at this. I'm happy for Buddy. This is his first time in the playoffs. I don't know if you can call him the greatest athlete, but he's up there. He's up there in the top. And also, with the Lakers being in the first round, I can say this on radio today. I can say this today on this great day, on April. But today's date, let's make sure I say the right date now so y'all know exactly what I'm trying to say. On this great date, I honestly believe that there's a possibility and there's a chance. And if it happens, do not be surprised. On this great day of April 18th, do not be surprised if the Lakers beat the Denver Nuggets. Caller, you're on the air. How you doing?
Hey, Pearly, what's happening?
Hey, Mystery. You're not out. You're not get beat. You're not get sent. Oh, no, you get one more game. What's happening?
Yeah, hold on. Let me start off by saying something to you. Because I believe you've been the happy hour today before you got to the show. You've been, now you in St. Petersburg. You've been the happy hour today because of that statement you just made about the Lakers beating Denver. You listen. I didn't.
No. I said if they happen, do not be surprised.
Pinch yourself to see if you're alive. Pinch yourself.
Listen, you know what? I can sit right here, and I can pull a naughty on y'all, and I can say I told you so.
Pinch yourself. Pinch yourself. Y'all beat a breakup, battered Golden State Warrior team.
We didn't play the Golden State. We beat the New Orleans. We beat a fully loaded New Orleans Pelicans with Zion.
New Orleans. Yes, New Orleans.
Listen, if the brother can't stay healthy for the whole game, who problem that is?
Listen. What I'm saying to you right now is LeBron really didn't want to win that game.
You really believe that?
Y'all didn't want to face Denver, my brother.
13 assists in the first quarter. You really saying that?
Y'all don't want to face Denver. Okay. I ain't asking you that, okay?
You telling me that?
Y'all ain't winning. That one over, okay?
But there's a lot of confident people think my Lakers can get beat.
What I want you to do, I believe you still have a hangover from that win y'all got. So I want you to drink some Folgers coffee with no sugar and no cream.
I actually get Folgers 1850 coffee. I'll drink some of that.
Yeah, drink some of that. And another thing, the Miami Heat. Right? I'm glad we lost that game. I'm glad we lost to Philadelphia. Let Buddy Hield them take on the Knicks, and we can take on Chicago, and we can beat Chicago. Now, the Knicks, and Buddy Hield is my boy. Love him. He's from my hometown. But this one, the Sixers just don't look good enough. Joel Embiid, he looks injured.
You think he was I don't know if he was winded. He got tired because he hasn't played for a while, so his breathing his breath isn't there yet. But he just looked winded in the fourth quarter.
His back is injured too. He have an injured back.
You think so?
He have an injured back, so that's why he's not moving around. He's not as flexible.
So what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen without Jimmy Butler and you guys playing?
We got Rozier. Rozier's good enough.
He's good enough. So you're predicting that the Heat will beat the Chicago Bulls, and you will be playing the Boston Celtics in the first round. Which you ain't gonna get past that.
But I know we can get past Boston, but I know we can
just
get
like the Lakers
Chicago.
then. And based on your words, you can be just like the Lakers.
Yeah, but me and you getting at the same time.
Think so?
No. We getting past. Y'all getting knocked out against Denver.
Y'all getting knocked out. So y'all getting knocked out against Boston. We getting knocked out against Denver. That's what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, four. Mm-hmm. And four. In the words of Moses Malone, four.
But listen what I said though. We can beat Chicago.
Yes, you can beat Chicago.
And the Knicks can beat Philadelphia.
Okay, and then and then Boston can beat y'all.
I'm not gonna guarantee you that. I ain't guarantee you that. I can't say that over live radio. No, sir.
I got you. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
But y'all played a good game against the Pelicans. Y'all played a good game against them.
You sure
but
did.
Now y'all match up against big teams. These the big boys now. Y'all getting up against the big boys.
This may separate the champions from contenders, men from the boys.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Have a good one, bro.
You take care, my brother.
All right.
Okie dokie, artichoke. You heard the brother say. All right, we got something. Some moves have been happening in the NFL. The NFL draft is next week, so we're getting closer to that now. So we got some moves that happening. So Colin Cowherd is going to talk a little bit about that, and some moves. Some people making some moves to get some quarterbacks in there. Let's take this call up before we take this last call, and then we can get into the picks. And this is a very quiet day in sports, so ain't a lot of picks to make. So call you on there.
Willie.
Hey.
What's up?
All is well. What you saying?
Boy, I mean, I know that last caller is a Miami fan.
Oh yeah, he's a Heat. He's a Dolphin. He's a Heat.
I think I recognize the voice.
Yeah, that's Mystery Dolphin.
Yeah, but I think if Philly play like how they play, they could beat the Knicks.
Okay.
Cause see, Randall's ain't there.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
mistaken.
That's
So
true.
Philly
Yeah,
could beat them.
but Brunson been playing some ball.
Now, Miami got to play. Who they got to play now? Chicago.
They got Chicago in Chicago.
They got if
no, they got
don't play,
Chicago. Does Chicago go to Miami? I think Chicago goes to Miami. Yeah.
Yeah, but if what is the name in the play? They stop.
Jimmy Butler's out.
Butler.
He's out for weeks.
If Butler ain't play, he can't play. They get beat.
Okay.
I think Chicago could beat them.
Okay.
So that's my prediction there. And then we'll have to face Chicago. Now Miami look good, but they got to get Butler in there. If Butler in there, they get beat.
Okay. Okay.
You see, now I tell you, Philly. I think Philly may could beat the Nets.
That's a possibility. If Embiid, see, Embiid is not. They're not a 7th-place team. They just happen to end up down there because he was out.
Yeah.
Because they were like 2nd or 3rd or somewhere in the top 4 when he got hurt.
Top 4.
When he got hurt, so they drop a lot of games without him, and he's there now. So that could be a big difference. That could be a big difference.
He is a different, but see, don't forget now, my boy ain't there with what he named Randolph, or what the guy named for
Julian Randolph. Yeah, he's not
right.
Randolph.
He ain't there.
Yeah.
So if he ain't there, come on now. They only
But the Knicks have played. The Knicks have played great basketball to end up where they're at. To end up number 2. So I wouldn't sleep on them.
You know, see Miami tough when they got Boston, boy. I get to be honest with you, they could be a little tough.
But let's see if they can suck it up a little bit and at least get that 1 win over Chicago.
I can't see they overcoming this one.
I believe they can beat Chicago. I believe they can beat Butler? Yeah, I think they can beat Chicago without Butler. I just don't think they can beat nobody else.
Boy, I got to see that, boy.
All right. We can see that.
All right, then.
All right, brother. Take care.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the picks, and then we get to the break, and then Rich Eisen is Colin Coward is going to tell us some things. There's only 2 baseball games that have not been played yet. The Miami Marlins and the Chicago Cubs. The Marlins got no pitching, ain't nothing happening. I take the Cubs over the Marlins today. The Arizona Diamondbacks are at the San Francisco Giants. 2 of them teams I don't like. I think the Arizona can mash them up a little bit. That's it. We just got two baseball games. Everybody else playing. The Rangers done beat the Tigers. The Rays done beat the Angels. And the Red Sox lost to the Guardians already for the day. And so there's only those 2. My Dodgers are off today. We get the Mets coming in town tomorrow and a full slate of baseball games tomorrow. This has been Pearly. It's been a hot 1 hour. Naughty and I are going to get into the Carifta stuff tomorrow. Him and I are going to talk and so tomorrow we'll talk a little more about that, get into some depth about it, and open up some calls for you to talk a little bit more about that. Thanks for listening. Thank you for all the calls, all the texts. If I didn't read all the texts, I apologize. It was not intentional. Thank you, everybody. I want to say thank you to my special guest, Robin Lyons. I want to thank you for the Bahamas Youth Flag Football League that came in. They play on Saturday. Check them out. Talking Heads Thursday. Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I'm out.
Are you ready for the best of the best? Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group up for sound promotion, and Guardian Radio presents the best of the best Rake and Script Explosion Concert. Mark your calendars for May 11th as Super Club Breezes grounds ignite with Bahamian talent featuring KB, Gino D, Funky D, Veronica Bishop, The Brylanders, Avi, Elon Moxie, and Shine 242.
Right now I feel like whining.
Join the Falcons, Iron Storm, Sylvie Pierre, Johnny Cake, Mama D, Nishi LS, Pat Ramis, Stevie S, and Shad Colley and the VIPs for an electrifying night of music and culture. Tickets are flying, so grab yours now. Available online at BahamasEtickets.com or swing by the Beauty Shack on Soldier Road and Carmichael Road. This is the event of the year. The best of the best Rake and Scrape Explosion at Breezes Resorts. Gates open at 6 p.m. Don't miss out on the Bahamian Magic.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Whether you like it hot or you enjoy being original, KFC has the only chicken sandwiches with attitude, featuring 100% extra large white meat chicken fillets for 100% flavor. Enjoy the famous flavor of KFC 11 herbs and spices in the KFC Original Recipe Burger, or take the heat up a notch with a spicy filet with our KFC Kentucky Deluxe Sandwich. And for a limited time, enjoy your favorite sandwich with fries for only $7. That's how it's done. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
He wrote the New York Times bestseller, Out of the Blue on the Giants. He's connected. He knows them. Fox Sports, NFL reporter Peter Schrager now joining us live. All right, let's talk about this. You have the Giants moving up to number 4. J.J. McCarthy, that seems like it feels so overdrafted. What do you do with Daniel Jones? They need pieces. They need receivers. I don't like teams like a New England Carolina Giants that need 7 players to give up draft capital, but that signals something. Why would they do that?
Yeah, look, my mock draft's a little different than others. It's not what I would do. It's what I'm hearing around the league. And I know that the Giants have done all the work and all the research on all of these quarterbacks, extensive on the top guys. If they weren't in the market for a quarterback, they wouldn't be wasting their time traveling all across the country to meet and take them out to dinner. The night before Easter, the Giants flew out to Ann Arbor and they took out J.J. McCarthy at Ruth Chris there. They had a great meeting. He has since met with them again. In this case, Daniel Jones was not drafted by Joe Schoen, was not drafted by Brian Daboll. He was given $80 million by those guys, but that contract is also written in such a way where they can get out of it after 2 years. I was aggressive on this one. I've got the Giants trading up 2 spots from 6 to 4 to get J.J. McCarthy. And one of the reasons is you've got Minnesota, Denver, Vegas, 3 teams that are 11, 12, 13. If the Giants are the suitors, the Cardinals can jump back 2 spots and still get one of those top wide receivers, whether it be Harrison, Odunze, or Malik Neighbors out of LSU. If you go all the way back to 11, no matter what Minnesota offers you, you're not getting one of those guys. I wouldn't be shocked at all if Arizona stays put at 4 and just selects Marvin Harrison Jr. and says, we're good. This is our Larry Fitzgerald for the next 15 years. But their GM is quite let's just say, Monty Ossenford is never scared to make a trade, and he grew up in the New England situation there where they always like to trade back and see if they can collect picks. If they can collect picks and still get one of the top wide receivers, J.J. McCarthy could be a Giant.
So everybody's got the Vikings moving up. Your mock draft is different. Again, you say it's based on what you're hearing. I think I've called the Vikings a furnished apartment for a quarterback. They got everything. You don't even have to play for a year. So tell us what you hear about the Vikings, because this is fascinating.
This might be one of the best situations ever for a rookie quarterback to go into. Yeah. You think about Addison and Jefferson at receiver, really good offensive line, and Kevin O'Connell, who is a quarterback guru and a play caller. The issue for me is, even if you give up the 11, the 23 future first-round picks, and I think the Vikings have more picks than anybody in like the entire draft, even if you give all that up, if you're moving up to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, those guys are going to want your first-round pick. And back at 11, you might miss out on some key players. So you might miss out on Neighbors or Odunze or Joe Alt. But if you move back just a couple spots, whether it be with the Giants or be with whoever else wants to trade up, and offer stuff, you could still get one of those guys. So I think Minnesota has made the market aware that they are in the business of potentially moving up to get one of these guys. And whether that's with the 4-pick Arizona, the 5-pick the Chargers, or the 7-pick with the Titans, that would probably be for McCarthy or May. But you better not have someone in front of you offer something similar, because those teams might want to deal with those teams as well. It's almost like they're very vulnerable where they're at right now, because they've made it clear that quarterback is of interest to them. And at 23, you're not getting any of those top 4 guys. And unless you package 11, 23, and another first rounder, and maybe even another first rounder, those teams up at the top, 4 and 5, they might not even want to make a deal with you.
Yeah, you have Bo Nix at 23, which is, I think, when I hear second round on Bo Nix, I think, and so much of this is crucial, Schrags, if you take out Andrew Luck, maybe a Caleb Williams, maybe a John Elway, largely where you land matters, will determine a lot of your success. I mean, C.J. Stroud got the right coach, right coordinator. He's got a great Pro Bowl left tackle, the right workable division. And I love C.J. Stroud, but a lot of things fell into place. My takeaway is Bo Nix sitting for a year with 61 college starts to Minnesota, left tackle, back receivers. Like, I don't know. Kevin O'Connell, to me, when I talk to guys in the league, they're like, this guy's McVay. But it's called Tall McVay. So I don't know. I think Bo Nix. Okay, so I want to go to this.
He's awesome.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick. He's awesome, and is like he's a quarterback, an NFL quarterback. So there is no better place to go than a guy who's going to know all the stuff inside and out. And I think you let Kirk Cousins walk out of that building, and as much as you and I love Darnold, you better get one of these guys. And if you don't, I think you better feel comfortable with Nix or Penix at 23.
Okay, Jaden Daniels, I'm told, that was a week ago, Commanders heavy lean to Jaden Daniels. What say you? What are you hearing?
I think that's wise. Now, this is cool. Last night, they had Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy all together and at Top Golf in D.C. They all played together, and all the Washington brass was with them. But all the quarterbacks outside of Caleb, the next 4 guys, they were all there interacting. Everything that I hear, it seems like to Washington goes Jaden Daniels. And what's cool about Washington is it's not just your typical head coach, GM, offensive coordinator making this pick. Like Bob Myers, who's the old GM of the Warriors, who I see on ESPN talking basketball, has had a lot of say, not only in how they do their draft, but just, coaching, hiring, and GM hiring. And then one of the cool hires is like Dave Gardy, who's a name who's not a household name anywhere outside of the league office. But Dave Gardy's been with the league for multiple decades and is one of the most trusted guys in the league office. Basically runs their entire salary cap and waiver wire system and is a mentor to everybody at the league. Dave Gardy was hired by the Washington Commanders this week and has a role with them. Different voices who have different backgrounds are going to be involved in this decision, whether you like that or not. I think it's going to be a collective decision. I think Jaden Daniels, as we're 8 days out, I think he is the pick.
So I theorized earlier, Belichick was getting beat up today on a story that was released that he was not even in the top 3 in Atlanta. And then 2 hours later, a story is released that Bill's interested in the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants. And my take was somebody on Bill's side leaked it to diffuse getting beat up all day on shows and get, the narrative was like, Bill's not even a candidate. And now all of a sudden I see Bill still wants to be a candidate. Sometimes a year away, the NFL sort of is very forgiving. It's amazing what happens after a couple of years. Do you think he'll ever get a head coaching offer again?
I think he's going to get interviews. And I think when you hear that, Dallas obviously has a long relationship with him, with Stephen and Jerry Jones. And then when you hear Philadelphia in the article that I think Seth and Don Van Natta wrote, I think they detailed that there was a conversation with Howie Roseman. It wasn't for the job, but I'm just checking in. Even that enough in the Philly market is enough